Many people do not seem to understand or grasp Goku's character, often called a boring and doesn't really develop through arcs. That is something that is very incorrectly said. But going through Goku's character completely would take a lot of time and it would be very hard to keep up from the start to the finish. What I have decided to do here is go through Goku's character all the way how he was written on the Tournament of Power as part 1 of dissecting his character. This is to give everyone a better understanding of this character and the way how he works out, the reasoning behind the decisions he makes and the sort of action that he showed throughout the last arc of Dragon Ball Super. Before we jump into the actual Tournament of Power, we have to talk about Goku's pre-Tournament of Power, and we are going to start that with why he started this tournament in the first place, or why he really reminded Zeno about it. In order for that to happen, answer here is pretty generic and something that everybody that follows Dragon Ball should know. It's no surprise that Goku wants to fight, and that is the exact reason why he wanted it. Seeing other strong guys and fighting them, the idea that he knows nothing about the opponent and they could be really strong really intrigued him, especially after he fought him. He was very interested on this tournament and the fights themselves and did not really think about the consequences that might come with it. He just wanted to fight, and that is all about Goku's decision. This was an easy part to explain and something that we knew already. It's just on the character himself to take that decision, and nobody was really surprised with that. This is where it all begins and gets interesting for Goku's character, his thought process and everything that he planned on his head for the Tournament of Power. After hearing the rules and the idea that his universe might get erased, obviously he is concerned about the fate of his own world. But most important part here is the reaction that other universes have towards him. It's clear enough that he is not loved, he is hated, and he is actually being portrayed as a villain from other universes. And instead of being sad, taking it with feelings that somebody doesn't really like him, like a normal person would technically do when you are getting so much hate, he wants to actually take full advantage of that, and there are a couple of reasons behind it. First is that he will be capable of protecting the lesser stronger guys on his own universe. He is not completely sure where his teammates stand in terms of power, but he has some numbers around and fair to say and assume they were not high. Given to his experience with Universe 6, he knows that there might be even stronger guys to face off, so he has to do something about protecting them. Obviously, he is aware that it will be close to impossible to actually protect them from close range, as there will be too many opponents to look at, and even more, that is actually going to waste a lot of time and energy, so he decides to play the villain, turn the focus of the other universes on him and have everybody focus on taking him out before any other move. Granted, he is aware that this might turn into all the universes versus Universe 7, but he doesn't have to do this all on his own, as he has still some pretty strong guys on his own universe. This is to actually take the focus away from the likes of Master Roshi, Krillin, Tenshin Han, or fighters of this caliber. Because it was something that he had to come up with in an instant, Goku took a gamble, so in order to keep everything more organized and have a better plan and strategy when they step on the arena, he appoints Gohan as the captain for Universe 7. He is aware of Gohan's relationship with most of the other fighters, he is smart and can actually create a team out of them, something more organized that will have them be more stable and not lose the others too quickly. He has the focus from the other guys on him, but 20 guys at the same time would be a bit too much even for him. So of course there will be others to take care of some, especially at the start of tournament when everything is really messy. One of the Goku's main traits as a fighter is the way how he observes the opponent. Doesn't take him too long to actually understand the level they are in, and this was perfect opportunity to actually know some of them. Without going into too many fight details because nobody is interested in that, Goku showcases most of his power in order to gain even more focus from the other universes. Obviously, now they are aware of what he's capable of, and everybody will see him as a risk for their own existence. He will be the guy to take down for other universes, and they are well aware that he is the strongest from Universe 7. So having to prepare and deal with Goku is going to give them less time to actually think about other universes, and as mentioned before, he still has some very strong guys on his team, especially Vegeta, who is near or close to his own power. The more universes hate Goku, the more it suits him. And to add even more to this is the idea that he will have to fight plenty of guys and have more fun at the tournament. It's a win-win situation for him. He is protecting the others and he's having his fights, especially with the guys of Universe 11 who are his main target. Decided to not only gather the fighters but also to spar with them, and for most of them it is a very different scenario under different reasons. Starting off with Krillin as his best friend, Goku knows Krillin quite well, and it doesn't take a genius to understand that Krillin is very low on confidence. He is scared to fight and doesn't really think he can really compete anymore. Goku was most important competitor and Krillin had been surpassed for years, so it was important for Goku to find a way to motivate him. Of course, with the help of 18 and everything around, Goku is able to do that, and to just boost him even more, he uses Super Saiyan Blue, which is his strongest form at that time, to give Krillin an extra boost. Of course, Krillin might not be the strongest, but Goku is well aware of Krillin's background on martial arts, and this is one chance to show them off. He might have one or two tricks under his sleeve, and Goku is all up for that. Boo, who ended up not participating, is just to understand how far his power went. Android 17 is actually one of the most interesting concepts, as Goku and him had never really met together. A guy created to destroy Goku is now sparring with him, as he wants to know where Android 17 stands in power, as well as if he would be okay to participate on the tournament itself. Goku is using himself and his power as a motivation to the others, and that is the same case for all of the other guys that Goku actually spars with. He wants to know where they stand and how they can hold up on this tournament. He doesn't want any risks taken with them. You could explain it as him not completely trusting them and their abilities. Of course, seeing their level, he understands that they're stronger than he expected, but still not really at the highest possible level, especially compared to his own power. Because he got them together and to fight, he had decided not to actually tell them with the fear of scaring them off and not really having them to accept the challenge. A regular tournament would be much more acceptable on paper for them compared to fighting for the universe's fate. Fear could even work against them in terms of getting the best out of them in stage. He wanted them composed as to why he really lied about this tournament actually being something else than something it truly was. But in the end, you could say that it just works fine, and taking one blame wasn't really going to be a huge problem for Goku, as he's used to taking those from Chi-Chi every single day of his life. Remember how many people hated and still actually hate Goku for doing that? He appoints Gohan as the captain of the team and let him in charge of things. And he is the first one to break the team shape, but there are a lot of reasons behind Goku's decision to do that. First is, many guys won't be fighting alongside each other. No matter what you told them, the likes of Vegeta and Frieza were never going to be taking any orders. He is well aware of that, and with him having gotten the focus that he wanted from the other universes, it is on the best benefits to actually split from the others. Be alone in one area and just wait to get attacked or attack first. His curiosity, you could say, takes the best out of him, as he wants Toppo and Jiren, but still it's just on his own character. Because at the End of the day, there are a lot of things happening with Goku, and actually this fight is still something that he wanted, and he wants to make use of that. But as he is doing his rash attack to Toppo and wanting to attack him, he finds himself against Universe 9. And Goku is actually fine on those terms. Taking out Universe 9 was something that concerned him because he knows the timer and how much power he will need to face the big guys. And that is why he wanted to actually take the strong guys first. Toppo, Jiren, it doesn't really matter. The lesser stronger guys are on the tournament, the better for him on the long run. The stronger guys in the end, well, that is going to cause more and more problems because stamina, fatigue, all of these play part. And as I said, him taking out Universe 9 on his own is not really a problem given to how much power he has and how much power difference there is between them. But him having to waste actual power was just something that really did concern me. But in the end, he is capable of taking them off alongside Vegeta, and it ends just fine. Vegeta's assistance was very much appreciated as they are able to take them out without spending too much power. And that is one of the instances where Goku actually counted on the strong guys. Not to technically help him, but the strong guys being capable of doing work, and he's not alone doing that. Something that most of us didn't really like about Goku, but it just makes sense. He is having to think about a lot of things at the same time. As intriguing as it is for him that a guy stronger than a God of Destruction could be on the tournament, it is very scary, being concerned about his teammates, and it's very hard to process and keep an eye for everyone. There are a lot of fighters on this tournament, and it's hard to keep an eye too. It becomes more and more obvious as Universe 7 is losing the weak guys, and also other universes are losing their fighters. Less people he has to be focused on means the more he is focused on one thing at a time. And what Goku was really doing it is not really efficient, and he could have gone better with it. But him having to do a lot of things at the same time, conserving stamina and all the others that I mentioned before, really were a bit too much for him, and of course sometimes he actually ended up letting his guard down, which is normal considering his position and everything that he was in there. Goku might have appointed Gohan as their captain, but he is well aware of everyone's trust in him. He is still the Universe 7 leader, they all believe in him and he cannot let them down. As to why in many different circumstances he is the one taking the lead of Universe even with Gohan on the stage. He has to actually get in for the group to function better. He is not a fighter that really loves teamwork, he is more like a lone wolf, but if team play is required, he will gladly do that, and we see it on different instances on this tournament, as to working alone with Vegeta only and with the whole group. It doesn't bug him that he has to fight alongside somebody as long as it is going to be beneficial on the long term. We see Goku taking lead many times as to them taking out Anelaza or on the last fight against Jiren. Power is still something very important on Dragon Ball. Things are usually fixed with their fists instead of talking, and that happens just here as well. Fighting Jiren, not only that Goku sees himself against a wall that he cannot pass, but he gets absolutely destroyed on a fight that leads him to unlocking Ultra Instinct, which is a power that he had heard of but never really got to understand and grasp what it really was about. And we can see that even up to after the tournament. He doesn't really know how to trigger it. But Goku's train of thoughts while using the form is huge, as we see him not talking at all through fighting. While many people give that as a form trait, it is something that Goku just himself has. He is thinking about this new power unlocked, the opponent he has, and about the physical state that he was in, hence to why he rushes into finishing his battle. But thinking too much works against the form that he's using. The more trust you have on your instincts, the more efficient it will be, and that is something that he unlocks at the end of the arc. That is why we see Goku talking a lot more when he is on the completed state. It wasn't something that came out of this form and this transformation brought. It's him trying to observe and understand everything that is going on. Most of the things were new to him, his power and also the opponents, who was the strongest foe that he ever faced. And the risk was a bit too high. The immense pressure that he was in, having everyone's belief under his shoulder and trying not to disappoint, was really a huge toll on him. Even for a confident guy like Goku, it can be a lot difficult to deal with, and it was a step back for him to achieve and complete this form, new power or new transformation, however you wanna call it. Goku's train of thoughts never really occurred into him using the Dragon Balls, and he never really cared about them. It wasn't on the list, as he had a lot more to do with, from having to protect in one way or another to dealing with unbelievably strong opponents. Goku's road on Tournament of Power was absolutely fantastic, and I enjoyed every little bit of it. In the end, Goku's plan came up altogether, and Universe 7 was able to secure their survival. Of course, not everything went according to the plan or Goku's thought, but in the end, the most important thing was reaching that goal, which was survival, and they completely did that. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like, let me know what you think down below, or let me know which character you want me to do next, or if I should continue with Goku on the Goku Black arc. If you want to know more about this character and Dragon Ball in general, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications in order not to miss out in any further content. As far as this video goes, guys, I will see you all in the next one.